Hi, so I have started the last part of the blanket as I'm watching a movie with the kids. So what are you gonna do now is buy the book. Buy the book, yeah. Um, you know those 5 stitches we put it on a side, on both sides. You pick up your color A and you pick up those 5 stitches and you keep working on the seed stitch or the garter stitch on the sides upwards until it matches up. So it's quite of a at least 210 rows, maybe even more, until we hit it down here and we can put that extra 5 stitches on that needle. Now you can, first of all, let's make those 210 rows. So I have started, I am that much on it. It is fiddly and it probably takes for a little while, but I'm gonna get going, keep going. When I'm done this side, I'll come back to you and show exactly how I started this other side. Okay, bye. So where am I? I've done the other side. So I'm going to start now the last side. So what did I do is, and it's great I did one side because I can kind of give you guidance how to do this side. So what did I do? You pick up the 5 stitches what you have on the needle, the bin, or it's in a safety bin. So you pick them up and you are going to go in a seed stitch. Just to kind of measure it until you go purl one, knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. And when you get to the others and you keep going until you hit at the other side of the chart, you're going to get up on the top, okay? Down to here. This is where we need to get that. Now, what I did from the first side is while I was knitting, I also kept pinning it along the side. So I knew how far I have come, and now I just pull the needle out. And then when I got to the top, then when I got to the top, I just add those 5 stitches along the line of needle. Yeah, but just make sure that they're nicely on the needle. What a mess am I? So yeah, you put it and make sure they're like on the right way. So I face them, that inside is, so it has to go on like this. Here you go. And just put it nice so it doesn't really slide off. So I'm going to do the same thing on another side. Okay. Just keep falling out. I'm going to do the same thing in the other side and then I'm going to come back to you. The whole idea is that we're going to get them all in those needles and then we are going to knit the edging for, I think it was another 5 or 7 rows as a seed stitch. So let's just get onto it. One side is done, another one is to go. Whew. I'll come back to you when I've done that side. So the side is done, and it is nearly my kids' bedtime because Friday I wouldn't care. So the side is done. I'm going to leave a long thread here because I'm going to use that thread to stitch along the line here. But first I'm going to slip all the stitches on my cable needle here. And then I'm going to go back to this side, the first side. So the work would be all looking similar. And I am going to take again my main color. Now, where is the book? It is here. So even the book is saying edging with the right side facing and smaller needles. And the color A. seed stitch 5 stitches from the band and knit across the 140 stitches of the blanket and must each other in. So we are now going to do this way. We're going to put it into same. Where is my wool? There it is, under the dog's butt. Bold doggy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scoop it down a bit. So there's so much here going on. So I'm going to add my color A. Nice long, but easier to thread it in the end. I'm going to knit in a seed stitch. Sorry, this starts with a knit row. So we are going to knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, and we're going to go straight to here, and it will be purl 1, knit 1. This is, yep, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and I keep going across of this, the 140 stitches of the blanket. I'm going to do that on off camera, and then I'm going to come back to you. Okay, so we are approaching now the other end. So we are going to purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. Okay, now we have it all in the same one. And we're going to work 7 more rows in this moss stitch. So we start here with a purl 1. I'm going to put this long needle away. I'm going to take the new one, this one, the matching one, and I'm going to do another 7 rows following the moss stitch pattern, and that will be our edging done. I'm going to come back to you after I've done the 7 stitch. So basically, if you do a 7 rows, then you cast off. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll come back to you when I have the edge done, the 7 rows and the cast off, because it's gonna be very boring to look at me doing it. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. So I'm now casting off. I know I said I'll come in afterwards, but here how it looks like. I'm casting off on the stitch wise. So yeah, the color is so I'm casting off in seed stitch. Okay, so I knit 1, purl 1, and I cast off as I go. So yeah, that's how the corners will look, and I'll come back to you when I have it all finished. So where we are now out. So like I said, I have done the edging. I finished this. Look, this is how it looks. Now this is pinned together. What I did do in the meantime is I stitch along this one. So this is how it looks. That's exactly what I'm going to do now on the other side. So my needle is here, and dog giving out here. This is our thread. No, this is not our thread. This side. There's too many corners. It's only 4 corners. Why am I giving out about it? So this is my thread. It's very, very long. I probably don't need that whole lot. I might get it kind of shorter here a little bit. So I'm gonna go in, not in a blanket stitch, but this continuous stitch. It's a Saturday evening. I am tired and I want to finish it badly. Yeah, this is a chat along as well, but I'm not going to keep you here chatting with me while I stitch along the line. So what did you do next is you stitch along. You've finished your edging both sides, and all we have to do now is just to kind of finish the edge what we knitted and pinned on the side. So I'm keep doing it wrong here now. So you put the right sides on one side, like I pinned in reverse and right side together, the right sides together. So I'm gonna go stitch along, and it's simple enough stitch. I wouldn't do it too firm because you want it to have a bit of pull and drag. It is a blanket, and if you do loose enough, but not that you can put a fingers through, so I would kind of go, yeah, loose enough, but not too loose. The stitch what I did, I don't know how you call this. I just went in every purl stitch on the edging side, and I kept kind of working. The bins I really want to come out, so I need to kind of go do it really quick. I would suggest to do it really quick, but it looks quite actually funky enough. It looks great. I like that blanket. I wouldn't do it again, and I'll tell you later. So anyways, this is just going back and forth, but we do it tight enough so every purl stitch from the blankets, the edging side, I would go in, okay, and then come out on the other side on. So it is flat. Just make sure that blanket is flat and the edging is flat. We can't really, that's why I've wanted to pin it, because we can't really now take up the edging. Then we have to unravel the whole thing here, but we can't do that. So I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna come back to it when I'm finished, and I'm gonna show you the blanket. Yay! So this side is done too, and the blanket looks like this. Now I need to press it, and I need to put the ends in, so that's what I'm gonna do next. But it's done. You're gonna see the picture in Instagram in full blown how it's finished. It is huge. It is big enough. It's nice size for a cot blanket, definitely, or even in a crib. Or yeah, it's what I like about these blankets is they're great blankets for traveling as well. You can just, they're small enough to put it in a bag, but it's like a snuggle blanket for kids. They would love to. My kids had a few of them. And it is, because it is kind of a blue, and even though you don't see here with the lights and all this thing happening, it's also unisex. You can make one for your grandkids or your new first born, and you can have it on the third, second, third, fourth, how many ever kids you want, but you can have this one blanket and it would be passed on then onwards. Now, if you want to do something for pass on, I might use more acrylic wool. There's quite a lot of new safe acrylic wools out there, polyester wools. Now, if you look very closely, I know I have a few mistakes in the stars here. Because the one thing, the criticism about this pattern, I say, it's 210 rows, right? And if this book would be a A4 size, you probably would have a little better chart. It is tiny. And there's a lot of ways when I'm gonna go, oh, I'm on row 5, but I have more stitches to do or less stitches to do, especially in the stars. So the stars could be a little off. Then again, it's such a big blanket, so I don't think it's really necessary that you have to follow it up properly. As long as they're star shaped and they look good. No one, unless you're very picky, that you're gonna go looking for like, oh, it's this little tiny row too shorter. or the star is not pretty much lined. So that's like kind of my criticism about this blanket. Again, I probably won't do it again. God knows, I never say never. Okay, might do it, but I don't plan to. But I like the all over design. I actually do like it, and I like the size. So yeah, if I have to give, I would out of 6 out of 10. I didn't dislike it, but I wouldn't get excited to do it again. That's exactly my wording. Thank you so much for joining. So next week, it's my Christmas week. I'm gonna start the cushion. Sorry, the kids came in. So next week I am working on floating clouds cushion. That's another thing I would really like to do, cushions. It is going to be 36 centimeters by 36 centimeter, 40 inch. Or so you could get a 15, I think there's 14, 16 inch cushion. It looks cute. It's one piece, and to make, and we actually have the pearl buttons. So this is the chart I'm going to do it. But yeah, that seems, it's only 100, it's a half of it. It's a half of it. So I hope it doesn't take 3 weeks. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. So this is what I'm going to do next week. Join me again, and I hope to chat to you soon. Bye.